bang this out because I've got my in-laws here, so I want to
bang this out. Kim, come on.
What?
That's rude.
Is it?
Welcome to Listen to Player 2. I'm your first host and first player. Player 1, as we tend to call them. And my name is JoJo.
Wow. That was a long walk.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, this was the energy that I was so excited.
When you were putting on energy this morning, you looked in the mirror and you were like, yeah, I'm done.
I was putting on energy, and Kim, you were putting on airs. I don't know what that means, actually. As I said it.
Cue me up again. I lost my place.
I said, my name is JoJo and I'm your player 1.
Oh, and my name is Kim and I'll be your player 1.
Yeah, this is the last part of the GOTY for this year. And we're just, you know what? There were 2 episodes before this one. And Kim and I are both at the end of the year. Kim has company over. I'm sick. Like I have the flu and Jeff is praying at the Iron Temple. So
is that really what he's doing right now?
That is the narrative
that you've okay.
Yeah.
I'm
so the narrative,
he's trying to get yoked by the end of the year. His New Year's resolution was to be super buff.
We have to focus because this is the game of the year and we got a lot of stuff to talk about. But I think it's important that we do say that the narrative on this show is that Jeff is both super jacked and rich.
Yeah.
On the show, that is who Jeff is. And I want to have that continue to be so because I want there to come a point where someone has to meet Jeff in real life, and they only know him from how we've described him.
Just working out all the time and just always going on trips. He has a woman that lives in his house that doesn't even work. She's just there like as an ornament.
That could mean a lot of things, Kim. We know what it means, but that can mean a lot of
But we know what it means.
It's pretty wild, the thing that you just said.
He's very wealthy, is what I was trying to get at.
He's very independently wealthy.
He lives in California, first of all.
Yeah, where if you're independently wealthy in California, you're like a god king. California rich is Mississippi god king.
I left California a poor woman and landed in Alabama a fucking duchess.
Dowager Countess.
Yeah.
Our brave went to the exact same place.
Yeah, I went over the state lines. They just gave me my papers. Like, there you go.
And here enters Lord Kimothy, son of Broderick. I don't know. This is a video game review show.
You wouldn't know it, but it is.
You wouldn't know it from the sort of way we carry ourselves emotionally.
Episode 3 of the GOTY. It's a big flippin' deal.
On our show, we have this, let's call it what it is, this fucking funny bit. This super funny segment with the same punchline every time. No one sees it coming.
Hilarious.
When someone says, I'm this kind of person, what kind of game should I play? And this entire year, the answer was always
Fortnite.
Now we're picking our new game of the year. So we're whittling it down from a bracket of 16, I think it was originally, and now we're down to 8.
Yeah.
The games that remain in our bracket are Spider-Man 2, Dredge, Baldur's Gate 3, Alan Wake 2, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, Octopath Traveler 2. Oh, and Armored Core 6 is also in there. Not as an afterthought, I'm just saying, I couldn't read it.
Yeah, these games are being chosen based on the reviews of the games, not on the games themselves. And I feel like that's very important because there were a lot of high-profile games that came out this year, but the reviews for those games were either like super hot or the people hated them and they didn't speak to the game itself because of you.
Listen, hey, let's just be clear. Because of you, the person who is listening, if you are the player too, like we listened to you.
And yeah, and everybody just assumes for these big games that you know the gameplay or that you know the background. And so the reviews are not particularly enlightening. And I think that that's why these B-list or what would be described as B-list games are coming out on top a lot of the time. The games that you might not be familiar with, the reviews are better at actually telling you what the game is.
Yes.
Where Zelda, none of the reviews that we read spoke to the gameplay at all or like what type of game it was. You were supposed to know that.
We're looking at these reviews and we're deciding if the game is worth playing based on the reviews because truthfully speaking, that is what a review is for. It just happens to be that a lot of the people who are doing the reviews, sometimes they black out in the booth a little bit.
Yep.
And they do some wild shit. And we see that and we go, cool.
Yeah.
I will never forget that someone wrote a review for Alan Wake 2 that said, my brother died.
Yeah. I'm just so thankful to the developers of Alan Wake 2 for making this game. My brother died. End of review.
That was the review. I've never had a more compelling review of a video game cross my desk.
Yeah. And yet you managed to find another my cousin died or something review like 2 weeks later. So now it's becoming a genre of review.
It is a category of review in my brain that now I'm like, I gotta be on the lookout.
Yeah. Tell me about your dead family member.
So this is our last round of our bracket. Like I said, the games that we have, Spider-Man 2, Dredge, Baldur's Gate 3, Alan Wake 2, Liza P, Armored Core 6, Sea of Stars, Octopath Traveler 2. The games that have fallen by the wayside, just for context. Blasphemous 2.
It was a really freaking good.
Yeah. Cyberpunk 2077, The Phantom Liberty. The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom.
Heard of it.
Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Also.
I think I'm going to buy that game.
It's good. Not good enough.
Could a 5-year-old play it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think a 5-year-old would have a lot more fun with an adult also playing with it.
Okay. Well, he plays Tears of the Kingdom and enjoys that.
Then this is a dumb game for babies then.
I have to say, my son is an advanced video game player for his age because I'm good at games. So he inherited that from me.
We also had Starfield.
Oh yeah.
That game's dad came to school to tell all the kids to stop picking them.
Oh, yeah, that was so funny.
Yep. Resident Evil 4, Final Fantasy 16, and fuck a duck. I can't remember the last one. It doesn't matter. It's gone. The point is the games that are in our bracket are in our bracket.
You gonna drop reviews in the chat? What are we gonna do here?
I've gathered these reviews because it's just you and I today. Because like we said, Jeff is worshiping at the Iron Temple.
He's trying to get totally yoked by New Year's so that he can bench press a record at that epic New Year's party that he holds every year.
If he can bench press hard enough, then the new year won't even come.
Yeah.
He'll have defeated it.
That's his goal.
That's his goal for like working out for this year. So jacked he can stop time, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. So Kim, I went out to Steam, Metacritic, everywhere I could to find a review, to find just one review. If you had one review, like in that Eminem song,
you only get one shot. Mom's spaghetti.
Well, I'll pick a game. You'll hold the review in your soul, and you'll see if it survives that next review.
Okay.
It might not. It's like a King of the Hill. Kim, are you prepared? If Jeff was here, I'd ask him if he was prepared, but he's too jacked right now.
Yeah, he's probably sweating electrolytes as we speak. I'm ready. I was cutting a piece of paper, and I've been cutting a lot of pieces of paper because I'm kind of working on something, but I'm stopping now so I can, I'm ready.
Spider-Man 2. Marvel's Spider-Man 2, I should say, because apparently if you just Google Spider-Man 2, you can't fucking find it. You have to say Marvel's. 'S. Spider-Man 2 for the PS5, $69.99, a heroic action-adventure game and the latest in a long line of Spider-Man video games. Here is the review. Uncredited, because I didn't write down the username. Looks and plays like a dream. If you liked the last two, you will love this entry. It's probably the best recent evidence that PS5 offers the best gaming experience on the market. It's probably the most woke as fuck game on the market today. And if you're into that, then pull out your lube because you're in for a jack session.
Okay.
Took a turn there.
Yeah, I also, again, my complaint is this person writing the review is assuming a lot.
Let's call them player 2, Cam. Let's just call them player 2.
Player 2 is assuming a lot of the reader. Oh, it's just like the last two. That was not what I was asking about.
Yeah. There's a game called Socialism Simulator that is the most woke game on the market. Like, this is someone who did zero research before they made this stupid claim.
Yeah. No, it's just because there's a gay couple that goes to prom.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that they're woke. It just means they represent people other than cis white folks.
I will also say, maybe this is me revealing too much of myself. I'm not sure. But if you jerk it using pretty much just lube, it must be nice to be in the 1%. You know, that you have a bespoke fluid just for that. Like,
you just have your jerk in it lube. Oh, this lube's just for...
Yeah, take your fucking finger out of your ass. Like, some of us just do it raw and get back to work, you know?
Because you're on the clock. And they're starting to ask people, hey, where did Joe go?
Boss gets $1, I get a dime.
That's why I jerk on company time.
I poop at home. Here's the other thing. I can outsource jerking off. I can't really outsource dumping. That's for me. That's a gift I give myself.
You know what? You're right. Never thought about it like that.
Yeah. I'm taking a job away.
Anyway, what's my other?
No, that's it. That's Spider-Man 2. That's what Player 2 has put for us, Kim. It's woke as fuck.
Okay, woke as fuck. If you liked the first one, you'll like the second one. Okay, more of the same.
Next game.
Ready.
Dredge. It's an open world fishing horror game. Here's the review from Player 2.
Okay.
I can see why it's good. Oh, by the way, just so we're clear, this person returned the game but still left a review. I can see why it's good. I didn't return this because I think it's bad, but rather because I have problems with motion sickness in games.
Oh.
And this one made me feel a bit ill. The game itself seems good. Happy face.
Oh, okay. Of those two games, I can tell you right now which one I would pick.
Which one would you pick?
I'm going to go Spider-Man.
Really? Spider-Man beats Dredge on those grounds. Fascinating.
Yeah, a game that causes motion sickness, I think that's a no-no.
Interesting.
They want to give it the benefit of the doubt. But the fact is that they weren't able to play it because it gave them motion sickness. They're offering me less than nothing of that review.
That's fair. They could have just not said anything. Okay.
Yeah.
Dredge, I'm sorry, but to the abyss we send you.
Yeah, they don't make the cut. Yeah. And I really thought that I was based on that Spider-Man review sucked. It was not a good review, but it told me more about the game. And at least it could tell you if you liked the first one, you'd like the second one, and it has, modern themes. Mm-hmm. That's some information about the game.
That's true.
That I like.
Are you ready for the next review?
Born ready.
This is a review. It's going to seem like this was a joke review, but I picked it on purpose.
For a second, I thought that the thing cut out because you got real quiet there.
No, I was contemplating. This is a review for Lies of P. Lies of P is a Souls-like, where you play Pinocchio.
I'm ready.
Player 2 writes, this is going to be a little meta also when we talk about it, because there's a reason I picked this one.
Okay.
Lies of P, spelled P-E-E.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay.
Now hang on. Knowing what we know about us, it's actually shocking we haven't laughed for 25 minutes already when I said Lies of P the first time.
Well, because you're ill.
I know. It's true.
You're sick. You're not on your best pee pee poo poo ha ha game.
Lies of Pooh is the sequel.
That's their number 2 game.
Fuck you. God damn it was right there.
And if anybody knows how bad I am at puns, you will know how fucking rock hard I am that I was able to come out with that.
So good. It's also a meme, and which we know if it's a meme, that's a good sign.
Is it a meme?
Lies of P. That's a meme review. It's what we say every single time. Lies of P. Urine. My number 1 game for the year is obviously Lies of P.
Yeah. All right.
Does Spider-Man 2 withstand?
Oh, I have to. It's a battle royale.
It's King of the Hill right now. Yeah. So Spider-Man 2 withstood attacks from Dredge already, and now it is facing off in deadly combat versus Lies of P.
Gosh.
It's tough, right?
Lies of P. Lies of P is going to beat Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to say for the fact that it's a unique game that has been very positively reviewed. Based on these reviews only, P is. I mean, the other guy had a little bit of. It was a little conflicted. This person clearly is. All their chips are in Lies of P.
It is absolute jubilation.
Yeah.
This review is. That it's just...
They like it, they love it, they want some more of it.
We cannot fault them for that. So, at present, Lies of P is on top of the hill. We're going to have to see how far they go. The next review for Armored Core 6. Now, Armored Core 6, which is a third-person robot action-adventure game, care of the folks at From Software. For those of you who didn't hear our first foray into our bracket, Armored Core 6 had the rare honor of having one of the most absurd reviews we've ever encountered, in that it seemed to be a third-person narrative by someone in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember that one? It's all coming back.
I was trying to, it's all coming back to me now.
Now, here's a review that I think, I did pick it because it was listed as funny, but I think I think AC6 did not put its best foot forward because this review is, and I don't know how else to say this, it's mostly sound effects.
Oh, okay. Are you going to do the sound effects or are you going to say them?
Well, I'll say one of them a couple of times because it's really the same sound effect, kind of like how a helicopter would work. But AC6, the review reads, and I quote from player 2, it reads, "Foom, foom, 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 etc." It's foom a lot of times. It's the word foom over and over again.
Foom, 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 foom. Okay.
This is a review for Armored Core 6, a video game. Then it says, get filtered, 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 get filtered.
What is it to get filtered?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I will say this, the more I said it, the happier I kind of got that I was saying it. This could be something that will get me canceled, that I read it out loud. But this is a review for Armored Core 6, apparently. Versus Lies of P, the entire review, and I know I shouldn't read the whole thing, but it is Lies of P. EE.
Wait, that was the whole review?
Uh-huh. That's the whole review for Armored Core 6. Fwoom, 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 several times, then get filtered a bunch of times.
Lies of P. I vote Lies of P. Feel like I gained something from Lies of P that I did not get from Armored Core 6.
We're thinking about these more critically than they deserve, but
I don't know what it means to get filtered.
I know, and that's what fucks me up because like this seems like it's coming from a place of joy is what gets me because I felt joy reading it. But it's also like I don't know how to react to this really. It's also kind of like Lies of P, even if you don't know that it's about Pinocchio, which it is, the simple fact that the name of the game is Lies of P and one of the reviews is pointing out a very obvious joke about that is at least accessible. This is nothing.
Yeah.
I cannot track this.
This is the Finnegan's Wake of online game reviews.
This is the smartest episode of our show. I think it's fair to say. This is our postmodern video game review show. Okay. Okay. Are you ready for the next game? In our deadly game, we're fucking just tearing through them. We're gonna pick our goatee.
Oh yeah, like, it turns out that Jeff's the dead weight, which makes sense because he weightlifts. That's what
he's lifting. He's also deadlifting.
He's doing deadlifting. So it makes sense that he's the one that slows us down because he's been skipping leg day.
Never skip fucking leg day, buddy. Sea of Stars, a classic style JRPG, reminiscent of Chrono Trigger that was released on the Xbox Game Pass. Highly stylistic, highly fun turn-based combat. Going up against Lies of P. Here's the review for Sea of Stars, courtesy of Player 2. Player 2 writes, awesome. But don't let this distract you from the fact that in Australia, there are 48 million kangaroos, and in Uruguay, there are 3,450,380 inhabitants. So, the kangaroos decide to invade Uruguay, and each Uruguayan will have to fight 14 kangaroos.
Is that a place in the game?
No, that's a place on Earth.
We're talking about the place that I would have called Uruguay.
I don't know how it's pronounced. I thought Uruguay for some reason, but
it's very possible. Okay, this review, 100%. You might as well stop reading reviews because I'm going to find it very, very hard to. I'm going to find it very, very hard to find any review that is going to give me more than a review that tells me that the game is good. Also, kangaroo facts, because I have a bit of a. I've got this thing going with kangaroos right now where I saw one in town and now everybody thinks that I'm a noodles person.
You saw that kangaroo, Kim. You're not the only person to see it, but it seems like you're the only person who finds it curious that you saw it. And that in and of itself is a source of madness.
It's sort of like if everybody let's say you're in a kindergarten classroom.
Okay.
And all of the children in the kindergarten classroom see Santa Claus. Mm-hmm. And you're an adult in that kindergarten classroom.
Right.
And holy shit, you see Santa Claus too.
What you have described, Kim, is a scenario that, like, as I think about it, I realize that is a very, like, disempowering but also terrifying position you found yourself in.
Yeah.
what you have basically stated is all the kids see, Santa Claus. I almost said
Something
Spider-Man,
that's
but all the kids see Santa Claus, and then you, an adult, with your adult brain, who's kind of seen behind the veil that leads us to Santa Claus. You in this situation also see Santa Claus. You actually see him.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's what fucks me up. It's like, you aren't seeing someone dressed. The kids don't know that maybe they're seeing someone dressed as Santa Claus. No. You're not seeing someone dressed as Santa Claus. You're seeing the man.
Yeah.
The myth, the legend.
The Claus.
You can't even tell anybody. Like, how the fuck?
You've just witnessed this incredible thing. Well, the thing is, in my case, I witnessed this incredible thing, and like a doofus, I went and told people. It's like, I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to see the kangaroo.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And now you can see nothing else.
And now I can't make friends at Pip's Little League Baseball because they all found out that I saw the kangaroo.
Don't talk to her. The kangaroo will find out.
Yeah, well, don't talk to her. She's one of those kangaroo seers. She had a kangaroo sighting.
Kangaroo sight unseen.
Looking like it was just in recline. It was just sitting in the car. I swear I saw a kangaroo. I go with the kangaroo facts because I do fear, you shouldn't be ignoring them.
It shouldn't be.
If it's 14-1 and they've got those big, strong legs.
Every adult and child has to fight 14.
Even if it was cats, I'd have a hard time fending off 14 cats. Pip would have a very hard time fending off 14 cats.
So Sea of Stars moves on. I don't know what other video game shows are like, but ours is clearly superior.
Yeah, well, no one else does either because they stopped watching.
We're going to have to restart our Zoom meeting in like 8 minutes, but I think we can get this next game out the way.
Okay.
Octopath Traveler 2. Sort of similar to Sea of Stars. This is actually a somewhat reasonable pairing. Octopath Traveler 2, it is a sprawling and massive 2.5D open world turn-based RPG. And I mean like capital R, capital P, capital G. It is a role-playing game like none other with 8 unique stories. Here's the review per player 2. In this game, you can mug your own parents in a dark alley, pickpocket young children's toys and sell them for profit, brutally interrogate old ladies for information, sick vicious animals on people who commit the crime of guarding the door to their own home, challenge random NPCs to duels for no reason except to beat the shit out of them, bribe officials to get your way, drug whoever you want. Little children and seniors are not safe. Hire a brothel girl. Be a brothel girl and seduce men and women with your sexy dances. 10 out of 10 would play again.
Now that one wins.
I love the laundry lists of just bonkers things.
This one wins. I don't know if I have to give an explanation of my vote.
It's always good for us to talk about.
This is my thought process. So knowing that something is a great game is great, and knowing Kangaroo Facts is great. But this actually went a little bit further and helped. It gave a lot of detail that was helpful both for the context of the game. Like you can do all of these things, and it gave you a wide range of stuff. And if you don't like these kind of things, then you're not going to like that game. So I feel like the review is very helpful and interesting.
It's like, what kind of game could it be with I could work at or hire people at a brothel? That's not Grand Theft Auto also.
I mean,
which is huge.
That's big in the game world. That's what everybody's been chasing.
Everyone's excited about Grand Theft Auto 6 because it's like, oh, finally we're going to be able to hire, sex workers in our video games again. And it's like,
yeah,
Octopath Traveler over here.
Yeah, they're like, I'm right here.
It's been doing the work. Well, fuck, Kim.
Yeah.
So Octopath Traveler 2 moves on?
Yep.
Even though the kangaroos are going to slaughter all of Uruguay, it's going to be an absolute bloodbath.
I know. I mean, some people will probably survive. I mean, they'll need people to open jars for them.
Okay, we need to start another Zoom call.
Oh, okay.
And you have to do it because
back?
of the way that Zoom works. Yeah, you got to call me back.
Oh, okay. Okay, I knew that.
This is why I hate Jeff so much, by the way, because he makes us have to figure this out every single time.
I'm not good at that. Okay, hold on a second.
Hang up. Don't turn off your OBS either.
I won't, because I want everyone to hear this. Also, I'm going to sneeze. Hang up. Okay, new meeting. I think I'm getting good at this, you guys. Connecting. Join audio. Cannot start video. Will not start video. Almost sent the link to my mom. Send. Boom. Oh, whoops.
I'm here. That seems like a record.
Oh yeah, I did it real fast, but then I forgot that I had to let you in. I kind of sat there for a while. I almost copied the link into a chat with my mom, and I think that she's just such a trusting person that she would have just entered the chat and figured out what was going on later. But I mean, she could be on the show sometime.
Fuck me if we bring your mom in to just review some games.
She's got surprising opinions sometimes, and
we're just going from the reviews themselves. That's probably a delight. I mean,
Marsha Towns is a delight. Anyway, yeah.
All right, Kim. So Octopath Traveler 2 is currently leading the pack. At present, the games that we have sent to the Boneyard include Sea of Stars, Armored Core 6, Lies of P, Dredge, and Spider-Man 2.
All great games. I mean, these are, but this is the game of the year we're talking about.
We're going to be recommending this from now on. That's a fucking big. And here's the thing, like, I would have been happy to recommend any one of these games. Octopath Traveler 2 is in great company, but can it hold out? Now, Kim, here we go.
All right, I'm ready.
These next two are the big ones, because last on our list, we have Alan Wake 2 and Baldur's Gate 3. Here's Alan Wake 2's review. I don't think Alan Wake can do it. I don't want to bury the lead, Kim, but knowing what we have left, I don't know. But here we go. Alan Wake 2. This game will have been a 4-star, maybe even 5. But the insane woke lines, and woke is all capitalized, thrown in there just kept making me roll my eyes. I could take the forced diversity as it was written well into the story. I never played the first one. But later on in the game, the pushed mandatory lines just killed the game for us. Us. And that's me editorializing. I don't know who the us is. Why does every game have to check the same boxes? Also, the game gets too slow at times. I know story is the most important aspect here, and it's well written, but it could have used a bit more action in between. No more woke, please. I would have never paid for this game or any other game that is pushing an ideology. It's a pretty good fucking anti-review, I gotta say.
Yeah, but the thing is, I am not rating that person.
Right.
I'm rating the game based on the review.
Based on what they've said about it.
And what I hear is the game has in-depth, diverse storylines that are well written. The dialogue is a little campy. And as far as like games that push agendas,
yeah, which is all forms of art, by the way.
Yeah, are they gonna push, like, are they writing on Call of Duty and saying similar things? Because if they're not, they clearly
you mean Call of Duty, the game where you can commit an act of terrorism in it?
So yeah, I
woke.
Yeah, Alan woke.
Hey, you said it. Now I'm free from my curse.
Yeah. Oh god damn. So gosh, I can't even remember the other review. That review deleted the review.
I know. So what are we? So Alan Wake 2?
Yeah, I'm Alan Wake 2. I have a good idea that the game has like a solid base to it, and usually the game going slow for people just has more to do with like there's not a bunch of shit blowing up, and it's like a story-based game. I don't know exactly. I mean, I didn't play the game, but I think that seems like it's something that I would like, and it seems like a well-made game. So yeah, Alan Wake.
It did it.
The second.
Oh, fuck. Okay, well, so now we know our first loser. Alan Wake 2 is either going to be the winner or the first loser.
I don't know how this fucking bracket system works, but go on.
Well, no, now it's just a king of the hill.
Okay, but then wouldn't this be the end then?
No, there's one more. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Like after this next round, either it's going to have won or it's going to be the second best game.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Baldur's
Gate 3, a character role-playing game on PlayStation 5 and all the systems, available for $59.99. Massive open world. It's D&D without having to have other people. That's what it is.
Right. Which is, I was starting and then I was like, I'm not going to put my opinion on this. So,
yep.
But
here we go.
Okay, so carry on.
From player 2. A week ago, I was diagnosed with a terminal illness, and the doctors have given me a year at best. I'm so glad I was able to play this masterpiece before I go. I don't know how many people will see this, but I recommend you buy this game if you do see it. Gameplay, atmosphere, OST, everything is masterfully crafted. Thank you, Larian Studios, for your game. End of review.
Why do you have to do this to me every time? That's the game of the year. It's the game you want to play before you die.
Yeah.
I mean, that should be on the jacket. Look.
The number of reviews, listen, and this is not, there's quite a few reviews of people saying I'm going to die for Baldur's Gate 3. Like a lot of like, hey, thank you for getting this. I'm 71. Thank you for getting this out before I go. Like seriously.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot like that.
Yeah. I'm going to say the must play game before you die is the game of the year.
So Kim, I mean, like it's this and versus Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, I'm 100% sure Baldur's Gate. I really liked Alan Wake 2. I liked the reviews that we read about it. I liked everything that I've heard about it. I liked things that kid didn't like. But it doesn't have, this is the game that you should play before you die.
If we think about, we did episodes on both of these games, Alan Wake 2 and Baldur's Gate 3. I mean,
in Alan Wake 2, didn't that have a my brother died? Wasn't that one of the?
That was the first time we realized that was a subgenre.
Yeah,
we didn't have that as a category at the time. We did later. Yeah. With Baldur's Gate 3, once I realized that was a kind of review, I had no trouble finding an example of that.
Yeah,
like for the other games, I didn't find that kind of review. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that was the thing. Alan Wake 2 boasts that.
Well, because those games aren't games that you need to play before you die.
Not a game you need to play before you die.
Yeah, skip it. You've got other things to do. You've got sunsets to watch and babies to kiss. Baldur's Gate, like, skip your brother's wedding.
It's like you're gonna need to see the sunset in Alaska. You're gonna need to feel the Atlantic Ocean on your skin for once, and you're gonna need to play Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, you've got a year. You need to prioritize your time.
If you're going to be traveling for the last year anyway, get a fucking Steam Deck and play Baldur's Gate 3 while you're going.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. Kim, we did it. That's our game of the year.
Fucking did it. I can't wait to tell Jeff once he gets back from the gym. Yeah. And he's going to be all like lightheaded, and he's going to drink one beer and be super drunk like you do when you go to the gym.
And you're super jacked.
Your blood is thinner or something. I don't know how it works. I'm not super jacked. I'm looking right now at my New Year's resolution 2023, which I taped to the wall, which was to be smoking hot and shrink it to a guest room, because I described the pouch that I have that used to hold a child as a one-room apartment, and it's about to a studio at this point. But I'd really like it to be a guest room. It's a room that I would like it to look like a multi-purpose room in my home. That is me, my body.
Yes.
But it's still very much a one bedroom. Maybe occasionally, if I'm dehydrated, an economy suite.
My body is a temple for tax purposes.
Did you have this is a little off, but did you have a New Year's resolution that you wrote down and then taped to your wall so you wouldn't forget because you were very drunk when you made it?
Not a resolution. I did have a theme.
Ooh.
I did have a theme. And my theme for the year was year of finishing, where I would try to finish things.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I normally start projects and don't finish them.
Well, now you have your brain drugs, though.
I have my brain drugs, but one of the things that I started at the start of this year, and actually kind of last year, was like, what's the new, mom hat project that is like, what's our best foot forward, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
And it was like last year, and for a good chunk of this year, it was a lot of Skunkworks R&D as to like what we would make. And Listen to Player 2 has been a fucking delight since we started it.
Oh, absolutely.
My New Year's resolution was finishing things.
Aw.
I had to come up with a new theme also because we're heading to the end of the
could I
year.
suggest be smoking hot? Or let's see, other New Year's resolutions for people who are at the party. Mike's was to get a puffy coat that fits. Seth was to get a new winter jacket game because he's always worn fleece. And he did. He has this like really nice, like Ben Rice wanted to be better at comedy. He wasn't at the party, but I was texting him at the time.
Sure.
New Year's resolutions do not have to be grand. It's something that you resolve to do that, like, I want to reupholster some chairs.
Okay.
In our dining room.
So my brother and me, every year, instead of a resolution, they name their year. And what they name their year is essentially like, this is the energy we're going to have to bring to the year. And it does end up being kind of like a resolution in that it seems like it could be actionable in a very specific way.
Yeah.
Like this year's was surf the vibe.
The boss that I am conflicted with, he does that.
He surfs the vibe?
No, he does the theme year.
Well, he might be using it for evil.
Where he's like, he has a word of the year. And then at Christmas party, if you can remember what the word of the year was from the last year, he'll give you $100. But then this year, he had COVID last minute and didn't show up to the party. It makes me wonder, like, is he listening to my brother and me?
Probably. If he's a bad boss, he's probably not welcome in the audience.
I don't want to say bad, but he hasn't given me a raise in 3 years.
That's bad,
he's
Kim.
Filthy rich and extremely successful.
Yeah, he would not be counted amongst Trav Nation. The year before that was 20 Rendezvous Fancy Takes Flight.
Oh, yeah? What does that mean?
Well, you should let your fancy take flight.
Oh, okay.
Like a flight of fancy, but also be fancier.
Be fancy. Okay. Yeah, maybe that's what we need.
How do we get to talking about this?
End of the year, game of the year.
It's true.
Basically that.
Because you're just overwhelmed, Kim, at the thought that we have done good work today.
Yeah, we did.
Because I know I am.
It
really was. And let's be clear, like we picked the reviews, but part of me wasn't thinking Baldur's Gate 3 was going to win.
It's a very good game. And you know what? It's funny. Like, I felt like for a lot of the time, and this is sort of like behind the curtain talk here, but like for a lot of the time, I felt like not that we were intentionally choosing the B games, but it just seemed like the B games were always winning.
Mm-hmm.
But then the game that ends up being on top was a game that I think many people would argue was game of the year.
That's
in their own whatever stupid metric they use that doesn't make any sense.
There are a lot of folks who were basically like, this is a one-horse race for game of the year. And then Baldur's Gate 3 came out, and it's like, now it's a race where now it's Baldur's Gate 3 versus Tears of the Kingdom.
Right.
And it was a big AAA game, but from a studio that, like, I don't know, like, this was weird to me because it's like the whole market loves Baldur's Gate 3, but I would argue that the company that made it until this game was in some ways kind of niche. Can you name the game that came out from this company before this one, Kim?
Baldur's Gate 2.
No.
No, I can't.
The game that came out before this one was Divinity Original Sin 2.
Oh, you know what? We actually had looked that up. So I should have remembered that.
Yeah.
Except it's not a very memorable name, and I had never heard of it.
Well, we are part of the gaming press because we are game reviewers.
Also known as the gaming PP. Hold on. Wait.
Can Liza P come in with the steel chair?
Perfectly timed. Oh, God, that's good.
Well, Kim,
sorry, my in-laws brought down Vermont beers.
Oh, can we? Well, I mean, like there's only one other thing we can do on our show now, Kim, because we've picked our game of the. This is the last episode of the year, by the way. Like we're gonna we're gonna have another one till. What are we
gonna talk about? What games we're playing right now, or what we would recommend?
Well, let's do one thing first, Kim. This is from r/gaming suggestions by user Assassin in the Marriott. Assassin in the Marriott writes, looking for complex 2-player game to play with my boyfriend. I can use an Xbox One and a Switch, and he has a PS5. He could alternatively play on the Xbox One while I play on the Switch. We used to play hours and hours of Overwatch 2 together, but the game feels stale and matchmaking doesn't feel balanced. This reeks of like my love life is stale now.
Matchmaker, save my relationship.
We've played Civ 6 together and It Takes Two as well, but I didn't especially love It Takes Two. We're looking for another game that we can both learn together and spend lots of hours playing. Could be shooter, could be strategy, could be RPG. I'm interested in Baldur's Gate 3, but the combat doesn't seem very appealing to either of us. If you think, given the games we like, that BG3 would be a good fit, let me know why. Or give me other suggestion, please. Games I like, Zelda, including Hyrule Warriors, LOL, Mass Effect, Ace Attorney, Fire Emblem, Three Heroes, Assassin's Creed games. Games he likes, Lies of P, Cyberpunk, Elden Ring, Call of Duty, Fortnite, Last of Us, Batman Arkham games. So we need someone who needs to know what game they can play with their totally real and exists boyfriend
that they are not having a hard time with. It's not a rough patch.
Not a rough patch at all.
They could have found other hobbies, but they said, okay, let's just keep playing video games.
Yes.
This is totally working. Are we going to dance around it or do we just go straight to it?
Again, we know the joke and how it works. We can't just do it.
We know the answer. Okay.
Here's what I know it can't be. It can't be Fortnite. Let's start there. It can't be that.
Okay, yeah.
That is a game that is not fun to play together. Just a factually. Simultaneously, but together, I don't think so. Cyberpunk is one player. Elden Ring is one. I know these are the games they said. They're trying to find a game that isn't these, but these are just examples. Like, you can't do a Souls-like.
I would say that Mario is too simple. They're looking for something that's more modern than like Mario Party kind of style games. They want something with narrative. They
do want, you know what? I was going to say, Kim, they want something with narrative and something where the narrative is like not just spoon fed to you, because Zelda has narrative that you kind of have to think about. Liza P and Elden Ring definitely have narrative you have to like figure out and think upon to figure out its meaning. Like something like a good book, but not boring. That's key. It can't be boring like a book is. It's a tough one.
So apparently Spiritfarer has a co-op multiplayer option.
Spiritfarer really does tug at the heartstrings. Not too difficult.
I would suggest that like that would be one that they could try.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a little too, the art is a little too stylized for them. They might want something that's like a little bit more realistic in its art style.
That's true. Also, I know I'll say this, but I will say that like the inclusion of Civ 6 is a popular option for them. Very strategic thinking. Spiritfarer is a platformer, but it's not like a super thinky game. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have a tactical aspect to it. You're not going to have to like plan out all your activities for ferrying all those cute animal ghosts.
Okay. But really, I mean, if you're looking for a game that's going to be something that could possibly save your relationship, I feel like there's only one option.
What might that be?
Oh, it's Baldur's Gate.
It's got to be Baldur's Gate 3, huh?
Because it's going to be Baldur's Gate 3 because it's the perfect multiplayer. It's got excellent storytelling. It's got
fun moments, tugs at your heartstrings. Highly strategic combat that requires lateral thinking. I mean, it's a total entertainer in this. Like it is just.
It'll give you stuff to talk about. It's the game that you want to play before you die.
Yes.
Or break up with each other.
Yes. I mean, if you're gonna play one game, if you're gonna have one Hail Mary video game to answer the question,
can this be saved? If there's one game that could possibly save your relationship.
If you've ever looked at your partner and gone, what are we even doing? And the answer is Baldur's Gate. Feels good to say it. Feels good to use it the way it's used. The one reply to this one said Diablo 2 Resurrect.
No, wrong answer. You should respond to them. Yeah. Wrong answer.
Incorrect. Try again.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to Player 2. Us, Players 1. Thank you for listening to Listen to Player 2. I don't know why I try to make it a puzzle every single time. We have chosen our game of the year. We'll be back in the following year, 2024, the year of Baldur's Gate 3, to discuss other fun games that you have reviewed, and we'll look at the reviews of. Kim, do you have any recommendations for the folks?
No, I have I was going to use the term tickler, and that's fucking nasty. I think this Christmas we're going to be purchasing a video game, and I do think it's going to be Mario Wonder, but I'm not 100% sure. And so like I'm excited. It's not going to be the game of the year because it needs to be something that every member of my family can play.
But you also don't have a PlayStation 5, so that kind of rules out our obvious suggestion.
Maybe I'll get a PlayStation 5. You don't know me.
That's true.
And maybe I'm almost as rich as Jeff and I could just have one because he has one.
You're definitely almost as jacked as he is.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my news. What have you been playing?
Not playing as many video games. I have Cookie Clicker installed on my phone, so I've been messing with that a lot.
What's that?
It is an idle game where you click a cookie and it has it's hard to describe. It's kind of like drugs, but I like
I'm playing an idle game right now. I'm playing Idle Banker.
Not Crush.
No, I'm playing Idle Banker and I'm really enjoying. It's just kind of cute. But yeah, I do like the idle games because you leave and you come back and you're like, oh, look at all this progress.
Oh yeah. No, Cookie Clicker will do that in spades. And then also if you want to like actively play, you can click the cookie and cookies fly out of it. But I have watched Shorzy seasons 1 and 2.
Good for you. You wanna empty her dishwasher so bad.
Fuck you, Shorzy. For what? One of my favorite lines.
Just a beautiful show. It's funny. There's so many little excellent jabs and little quips and chirps, and it's so good.
It is literally like if Seven Samurai was about fucking hockey. It is such a good show. It is so good. Like especially because like knowing that it started with a character who was literally just a punchline in Letterkenny, to have this as the show about that character is ridiculous.
And when to have it as good, it's as good as Letterkenny. It's just as good as Letterkenny, which and in some ways, and I don't burn my house down for saying this, I like it more than Letterkenny.
Oh yeah, no, it's doing something different. Yeah.
There are some things that happen in Letterkenny that they talk about in Letterkenny that I feel conflicted about, because it is very much not PC.
Yeah.
But I think that they're doing it sort of tongue in cheek, but I think that there's a large population of people that don't realize that.
Right.
And so it is validating their feelings that those things are okay when they are not okay. And I think that has always bothered me about Letterkenny, where this show is perfect.
It is.
I mean, maybe a little bit. Yeah.
No, it's a great show. It's highly recommend. So that's what I'll say. Check out Shorzy if you get the chance. It is on Hulu. If you watch Letterkenny on Hulu, you can watch Shorzy, and you very much should. That'll do it for us. Give us a good review on your podcatcher of choice. I hope you've had a nice 2023. And why don't you tell us about your parents, Kim? We can get the hell up out of here. My name is JoJo.
My name is Kim, and you have been listening to Listen to Player 2, and Poo Poo and Pee Pee are my real mom and dad.
This is a very intelligent comedy program we produce.
Okay, I mentioned Finnegan's Wake. I can say Poo Poo and Pee Pee as much as I want.